Good evening, everyone, and welcome. This is Crossy for the Crossy Cast Twitch channel. Thank you very much for joining me this evening for yet more ESEA Season 36 action. We are cranking this out. Games every night this week, bar Friday, which is tomorrow, actually. Completely lost track of time and all of that. But yeah, lots of stuff to kick off. The first Counter-Strike of 2021 and the first action from the first week of ESEA Season 36, and we are dipping into advance this time around. Touch the Crown from Germany against In-Game from Russia. Now, I couldn't find all that much in research about the Russian team, but there was no joke about 17 Russian streams available commentating this game. So be interesting to see what these guys have to offer. Maybe these streams know something that we don't, or maybe they're just supporting one of the few Russian teams competing at this kind of level of ESEA for Season 36. So a little change to the schedule programming, and so I'm flying solo tonight instead. But we can let Nat off after finishing exams yesterday and just need a bit of time to chill out, etc. We all know how that goes. And already we're seeing a bit of a different setup on Mirage T side from what we saw this time last night, where it was pretty much a YOLO push in towards the B apartments in the opening round. This time playing much slower, with just under a minute left to go on the clock for this first round. Time to start to tick away. One player getting dropped from each of the two consecutive teams. Thing doing some good work though. Fabster and Spint going down for the Russian side as they try and make their way in towards the A-bomb site. Foster doing some good work. Gets one taken down straight away though by Power. Nice work tapping away with the silenced USP. Leaving the bomb in the hands of Height, who has got one. Tapping away towards Ticket. Got information from there. Does spot Thing. He's down to low HP, so one bullet connecting would do the job. Also, time not his friend. 15 seconds left to go. Height does get one on Power. Another thing already dented down to 20 points out, so he needs to be super accurate with the USP as he now has to go for the retake. Does find Height, is going to get the defuse. Nice hat trick from Thing. Very good stuff from him to kick things off, and that's going to be first round on the board for the T's here. Unbelievable. For the CTs. First round in, already dropping the ball, but much like I guess some of the players, if they've had a couple of weeks off like I have on the casting front, maybe a little rusty still, trying to get things back underway. Things that comes with time, but it's good to have those breaks and to be able to refresh and maybe, if you have been playing in a team environment for a while, just take a little breather and play some other games. And you probably find if you play a few pugs on Face, etc. or ESEA, that maybe your teammates, as frustrating as they can be, maybe aren't so bad after all when you see some of the mess that is trying to pug. As Poles manages to pick up a frag on Railway. Brilliant name. In-game, try and get themselves a little bit of mid-control. That's going to be a mid-to-con push now. Nice work from Crown in the window. Manages to find one. Poles gets another with the MP9 in hand, so that's going to be 200% kill bonus in hand. Everything with a couple more, including a tasty little shot through the wood over towards Stairs. Let's go allow Touch the Crown to pick up a 2-0 lead. Playing a little passive in mid, allowing In-Game to have some semblance of control, but able to step out at the right time to stop the crosses, etc. I will apologise for any little gaps in the stream. I'm going to try not to make it an ASMR stream as I nom away on whatever food happens to turn up, but generally these games as Dookie and Power do some nice work over towards short. Set on the crossfire allows Crownie to grab the last man. That's Railway. And another round going in the favour of TouchTheCrown. But a lot of these games tend to finish, or, wow, words, tend to start not long after I get in the door after work. So, you know, part of it involves trying to gulp down whatever food I can throw together in the 10 minutes I've got, as well as put the stream live. So there may be a few little breaks in between, as Crownie stepping out into mid now, trying to take a more proactive role in getting that mid control with the AWP now in hand, stepping out. Height does have an AWP in the hands of in-game, and he's going towards the top of mid. You have to rely a little bit on your spawn in that situation. Railway and Height doing some nice work as both of them pick up a trade apiece. That's going to cause problems now for, I think that may be Pulse. Yeah, it is. He's able to move and get out of dodge. Coming in towards stairs, may have a chance to pick up a frag, and Power doing some good work as well. Able to find a man. Fabster now comes in, uses the distraction well. You could maybe argue he could have moved a little faster and kept another one of his teammates alive, or a couple maybe in that situation. Power's going to try and grab another inside. Con sprays over the top on HLTV at least, or GoTV I suppose it is now. Sometimes it doesn't represent on TV quite as well as it would in game. We're a little lucky he missed that by an absolute country mile. Dookie able to find Height in the meantime, takes him down with a crisp headshot with the rifle in hand. 1v1 situation, bomb planted over towards the B site. Dookie close enough maybe to know that it isn't A, but we see him walking over there, so clearly hasn't realised. Just gets close enough to pick up the sound cues before he's going to now get on his bike over towards the B site. Perhaps to sitting up towards bench. Go try and engage if he can. He's got the sound cues. And that allows him to swing and pick it up. First round on the board then for in-game. A little bit of work still to do, but the economic squeeze for CT already starting to show itself. You win 3 games, 3 rounds on the bounce. And still, your buy is not what you'd want it to be. Railway, nice work finding Power. I think trading back, and he's collecting plenty of frags early doors. Gets a second with the dig in hand. Bomb plant going to come in. And I expect that Crown's going to get himself in a position where he can just pick up an exit or 2. Unlikely to really commit too much with the AWP in hand. Priority going to be to save that as Dookie goes down. Yeah, that's exactly that. Exits at best. He hasn't got the HP to really get into any battles with anyone. So we will expect that it will continue on. And allowing Game to put their second round on the board. Figured I'd leave you with the drama. You see sharks circling around him. Moved on Massive are quite smart to work together, push at the same time. Now, one advantage of having the AWP is that if people push you one at a time and you can make your shots, you can generally get away with it. You've got the firepower. I think at this level, AWPers aren't turrets or cannons. They don't stand in one place. They've got that ability to move about the map, as Crown with the pistol will be calling that in. Plenty of players making their way over towards the A site. Railway checks under woods, one of those little tricky positions that can allow you to pick up a couple of frags. TouchTheCrown do go for it. all of them pouring through the smoke, trying to use the element of surprise, but they don't have the firepower. Managed to get 1 kill out of it, but aren't able to retrieve the weapon out of that and wreak havoc. That's going to bring it back then to 3-all. TouchTheCrown going to have their first proper buy, really, including with the rounds that they were wing on the spin. This is probably the best that they've been able to put together. Utility is a little lacking, so they may not have to, or may not be able to play retake strategies. Maybe have to dig their heels in a little more on these bomb sites. And I just realised I had my mic muted. That was awkward. Really strong stuff from Pulse over towards short, spraying through the smoke. I'm guessing getting a little bit of information from teammates about when they're crossing towards the bomb site. Allowed him to hold that angle and nail a couple of shots. Good work from him in the window as well to be able to grab an early frag. So he's working well from mid and from short. Now shifting in towards Con, changing up his position, kind of playing... Lurk roll is completely the wrong phrase to use really on CT's side, but playing a bit of a free roaming kind of role, drifting about the map, doing what needs to be done. 3 in-game players over towards A ramp. Player up close may have been able to hear the shifting of weapons. Probably not, I want to say offhand, but I tend to run my headset volume quite low for casting, so I don't tend to pick that up so much. Height, nice work through the smoke. Playing Pulse his own game as he's taken down through the cloud cover. Fabster able to find power under wood. They're checking it every time. Good discipline from in-game, and so look to bring it to a 4-4 in terms of round situation. Earthing coming in. He's going to upgrade now to the M4. 4v3 against Dookie getting the utility, and that's going to cause problems, and that's burning away. Now the AWP is going to be able to tag in. A little bit of overkill really as Spin goes down. Fabster first to engage. Down he goes as well from Tetris as they'll be thinking about trying to get on this defuse. Height over towards ramp, steps out. Good flexibility, good maneuverability as he steps out, gets 2. Last man trying to stick the defuse in the smoke, no such luck, and it is going to be back to 4-all. In-game back in the ascendancy. And all it takes is one round to completely upset the finances for TouchTheCrown, having to go for pretty much a full eco aside from a little bit of utility this time around. Very little resistance over towards the A site is in-game, able to push all the way through. Dookie does get one, isn't able to retrieve a weapon out of that, and that's going to allow TouchTheCrown to go back on a buy. They can get an AWP if they want. Dookie's got the cash for that. I'll have a little chat about what they need and what they're going for. It's going to be M4s all round, sticking with the utility. 4 scrap in the head armor. Those extra 300 bucks going into the kitty for a little more utility. As everything on the in-game side is a one-shot kill, headshot, potential kind of thing. Crowny coming in from unders. 3 players already getting on their bike and pushing through, just trying to get the bomb plant at this stage. Dookie gets one from there, using the site to play rope-a-dope, allowing Crowny to come in from behind as he tries to get his hat-trick. Paramax is behind Railway. And Foster trying to make a last stand on the bomb site. Nothing doing for him though, and it's back to 5-all. Both these teams swinging backwards and forwards, as is so often the case on Mirage. It's a real momentum map. The economy comes into it a lot, and I think TouchTheCrown are maybe looking at the number of rounds they've got so far and thought that you know, if they weren't on CT and they weren't feeling that economic pressure quite so much, they may have been able to dig their heels in a little better and get this to a winning situation for them. In-game trying to bring things back their way. Railway skipping through the hole at the back of the site. Spin able to do some good work as well. In-game now getting success in areas where maybe they weren't before. They were struggling early stages to get mid-control. Even up against a full buy of rifles. Nothing doing for them. Covered each other's backs a little better as well, actually. Getting into the mid-window. Rather than flying in there solo, they had a couple working in there. Gives you a little more opportunity to refrag. And then if you do get a couple of kills or a kill in that situation, keep both your players left alive, you can commit fast. So Railway gets 2, gets Dookie over towards steps. Completely exposed, just trying to protect himself a little bit from other areas from ramp as Railway. Just a little underarm roll of the grenade off the platform. Grabs the guy below. Crowny's in some serious trouble. Does manage to get a tidy 1D. Again, down he goes as in-game. Now starting to get the momentum on their side. Now starting to roll. And that's opened up a 2-round advantage for him. And while TouchTheCrown fight their finances, I try and fight indigestion. The pace I'm trying to smash down. This pre-match snack. They didn't quite get timed as well as I would have liked. In-game starting to get some control again over towards the A site. TouchTheCrown getting ready for a potential retake as the plant is going to come in from Fabster, nicely covered. from over towards Palace. The smoke pretty much makes it impossible for TouchTheCrown to have committed. You see 3 players coming in from CT. That's a little bit of a choke point, really, especially with the player over towards ramp. Foster finds one. Whether you'll have information on the other players coming from there, he was going to be the lurk player coming in. Foster and Railway. It's another 2 for Railway. He's putting up plenty of frags. He's been the standout so far. 14 and 10 for him. 12 and 6 for Foster as well. He's been doing some good work. Foster tending to pop up in other areas of the map than where the big action is coming from. Floating around a little more. Pulse and Crowney have had a couple of big rounds for TouchTheCrown. Let's help them get themselves to double figures here. It's been doing huge work over towards the A side. Poles of Power pretty much ran into him with their upgraded pistols. Railway still wanting to be the big fragger of the night. So he chips in with one as well. Dookie getting hunted down. Fabster able to grab that. So Spint denied his hat-trick unless he can grab the last man up towards short. So that was going to be his angle if he wanted it. Said Crowney worried about the aggressive push. See if he can keep his deagle, try and retrieve a gun as well if possible. Going to be a tough one as in-game. Take themselves to 9-5. Double figures would be a nice score for them. And it looked like in the very early stages that they might struggle a little bit to get any real opportunities. Got shut down towards mid. Didn't really make any attempts over towards B. And some nice crossfire set up over towards the A side. Once they got some rounds going in their favour and maybe start to get a little bit of confidence and a little more warmed up in terms of challenging towards mid. Crowney tries to pull off a shot. Ends up going high and right with it. Dookie, though, was on point with the AWP over towards the B site, which is now where in-game are gone from. Trying to mix things up a little bit. Haven't gone here too often. Height will have good information on the player around the bomb site, knows he's there. Pulse over to take him down. Low HP and Height with the deagle, able to pick him off. John's over towards short. 2 TouchTheCrown players hunting him down though, and that's going to take it to 9-6. Final score for the half. Second half then underway. TouchTheCrown with a great opportunity if they can pick up this pistol. Spin just trying to take falling players as they come out the window, get 2. It's a little slow, a little pedestrian really from TouchTheCrown, and they haven't dealt with Foster, who's in on towards the bomb site. Position is known, they're trying to hunt him down, but in the meantime there is a fast rotate coming in. Railway in from short. That was quite quick But it was well set up by in-games players around the bomb site, delaying enough, able to do damage. Spint picking up a couple of frags on players coming out from the window. Foster didn't show himself until later in the round. They were able to get the call in much earlier than that as well. TouchTheCrown using some utility before they committed. Thing completely flashed as he tries to step his way out towards mid. Nothing doing. Height and Fab still working together perfectly, and Height's going to add another one. A third, this time with bullets. As Fabster to grab the last. In-game making it look easy against the scrub pistols. In-game starting to get in the driving seat. TouchTheCrown, full commit. AKs all round. Trying to get a little aggressive, feeling confident, and considering the number of frags on his tally, wouldn't be surprised. Crowny manages to find one on Spin, who maybe overextends a little bit too much into Palace, especially when you have a couple of man advantage. Power now trades back. Foster outgunned over towards jungle, but he finds the frag nonetheless, and in-game continuing to push forward. Going to open up a 6-round deficit for them, and this was a full AK spend from TouchTheCrown into this, so they are probably going to struggle to get AKs again, I would have thought, even with loss bonus and no bomb plant to work with. Foster's going to say thank you very much for one of those AKs. Trying to bait out, get information. Granny has the opportunity to do something with the bomb in hand, but probably just a long run to nothing, we would have thought here. Really good effort from Crowney. Determined to be the hero. Got two. The two top fraggers for their respective teams. Height and Railway tied, actually. But Height doing some really good stuff generally in this match. And pretty dependable this time, AWP in hand. Double AWP CT setup. Has its disadvantages, the double AWP. If you do have to go on the rotate or try and use them on a retake, you have limited opportunities. Height though, he's on point with the first shot over towards ramp, and this is where the advantage is going to start to slip away a little bit for him if he doesn't commit, and that's exactly what he does. Uses the smoke for cover to allow him to get in and get involved in the bomb site. Nice work from Power and Dookie, able to clean up. It's going to be a chance for them to get a little bit of control back in this match if they can grab this round. So I think he's choosing to go for it. Grab an exit if he can. Manages to find Dookie. Bullet through the wall. Enough though with Railway already softening him up. Looking around, I guess preferring a rifle in this situation. Didn't have an AK in hand actually. Tony he doesn't fancy it. Does. Ooh, narrowly. I think that's another one of those situations where it looked closer in this instance on GoTV than it maybe were done on the server. That's why we didn't see him come away with a frag there. In-game, though, they want to keep the pressure up, going for a force. Spending what they can. Scout M4, some upgraded pistols. Maybe feeling like they don't want to let TouchTheCrown get any real route back into this game. Little shout out to Railway. Picked up 2 already with the dig. 2 players having to swarm over in that direction. Damage maybe been done. Fabster manages to find her thing. It just shows a little bit of pressure on CT side. It's like, I've got a dig. I'm going to go and get some information. Pushes out from A site. And from there you can pretty much get a B site call. Let's get some information on locations at mid. Maybe pick up a frag. Or 2 in this situation. Dicky able to get consolation, but Spint grabs a second in from Con. 13-7. TouchTheCrown. Economy shafted. And in game, I think, would be fair to say, in touching distance now. 13-7 would TouchTheCrown. Forced to buy what they can, really. Their money's got all out of whack. And Railway picks up his second now from underpass before he's taken out. It's like he's the Bobby Firmino of the Counter-Strike world right now. The deep-lying, holding, playmaking, defensive poacher or whatever. He's playing all the roles. Applying pressure in certain areas of the map and changing things up. The kind of role that a CT player on overpass, I guess, that plays connector, that can really cause problems in so many areas of the map from that position. You know, CT, if you work around mid-area or underpass, maybe push up from short once in a while, Pulse. He's been kept quiet after a very impressive individual performance in the first half. Crisp 1D grabs himself a rifle. Height has information over towards A where the plant's coming in. Fabster finds one, Pulse trades back. Maybe too little too late as Fabster comes in. It's going to be 14 on the board for in-game. Looking strong on Mirage, but to be fair, they've played it like Mirage normally is. It's a little bit of a seesaw affair to begin with. Struggled a little bit to get any entry picks and that sort of thing. Brought it back towards even. Started to get a bit more success in some of the key areas of the map, in towards mid. In towards the A site, which is where they were looking to go more often than not. And now they've got onto the second half, and you know, with a bit of controlled aggression, have been able to keep things moving in their direction. Nice work over towards mid. They're working in tandem. Little partnership going, and then Spint now pushing in from the short area to apply a little more squeeze. Throwing the action over towards A now. Height's going to be walking back to help out. And bolster his teammate over towards A, playing safe. Just waiting for information, waiting for a commit. Minute left to go on the clock as well. Plenty of time. But crucially, no bomb. That's well and truly being marshalled by Foster. He's now left it and made his way instead over towards A. Fabster finds Crowning. He's got the Swag 7. Let's find her thing and upgrades the Swag 7 to an AK for what could be the 16th and final round for Touch the Crown. Another pretty quick affair if this carries on. Foster going for the shotgun. Could have asked for a drop, of course, from a teammate, but maybe just a sign of confidence, maybe overconfidence as Dookie finds one. Height trades that one straight back, and Railway able to find one. Railway gets a second as well. He's doing some seriously good work as Fabster about to catch Crownie as he walks his way in. Here in Pulse, last man standing. 4 players to find, fighting for their life in this match, and down goes Foster, who'll maybe be regretting that choice of weapon a little bit now. Couldn't get within the effective range, which is pretty much point blank. Otherwise, you're in some serious trouble. But in-game are able to bring it home in the end. Tidy work from them. As I say, there isn't too much that you can report on Mirage. It is a kind of map where you can't predict anything as to what's going to happen, and it can swing both ways. On this occasion, it was a nice balanced affair to begin with. Touch the Crown showing some good prowess in some of the key areas, mids, you know, short to mid connector, that sort of thing, and they stopped a few pushes in from connector and in towards the A side. Was looking pretty good for them to begin with. In-game managed to get themselves some rounds on the board, and despite Touch the Crown winning the first couple of rounds on CT, they were put into a bit of a difficult predicament as far as their economy went. Going forward later on into the first half, in-game get a little more confidence, then making more of these shots against mid players, connector players, opening up more of the map and allowed them to put a good score to work from. Win the pistol, win the next couple of rounds that come from that, and then won the buy versus buy. When you already had a nice advantage from the first half, it just leaves your opponents needing to play flawless Counter-Strike just to give themselves an opportunity and not to slip up. Didn't happen. Good work from the Russians and a strong performance. Second strong performance from a team on Mirage as well. So, thank you very much for watching this game. Ended up being a solo just for me in the end, but hey, that's no problem. We managed to watch some Counter-Strike anyway. Going to take a day off tomorrow is the plan after a full week of Counter-Strike for the first week of Season 36 of ESEA. It's been fun. There's been some quality games, and it's been great to see. Keep it locked to my Twitter at mcrossy12, which you can see on the screen now. That's the best way to keep abreast of what's going on with me in Counter-Strike. I'm going to try and put together a schedule for next week. The trouble with that being my schedule for this week had to rearrange every single game I put on it due to fixtures changing and that sort of thing. So we'll set some loose times when there will be games on my channel, and I will grab whatever is available. Some of them will be co-casts. I'm going to try and grab a few friends to get them involved. Plus, there are other things that I do on other channels for other organisations or with other people that won't necessarily be here on CrossyCast. So if you follow me on social media, on Twitter, then you will be able to get an update on what's happening there. Also, throw a follow onto this channel if you haven't already, because there will be plenty of Counter-Strike coming for this ESEA Season 36. Plus any other action that happens to come up as well. Still trying to shake off a little bit of that rust from a couple of weeks off. So, yeah, we will get there. It's just a little bit of time and practice. I'm sure the players will be feeling it just as much, if not more, than I am if they decided to take a few weeks off over Christmas and New Year as well. Thank you very much for watching. This has been Crossy here with you. The plan is to be back on Saturday for match time, if you like. Sunday morning for me, a sort of 1 o'clock, 1:30 game as we try and take on some North American action. Whether it happens or not, as I say, keep it locked to the social media. That's the plan. But may pick up a few more games this weekend. If not, should be back as of Monday next week for some action. So be good to have you with us for that. Thank you very much, and catch you next time.